What would Fallout New Vegas look like if it was real? Like a real life scale? I'll give you a hint, it would be a lot bigger than this. I was wondering just how much bigger, so I painted it. From the strip to the edges of the valley, every single street lamp and distant hill. Come check it out. So there's a few things we have to figure out before I can put digital paint to digital paper here. And trust me, it's going to be interesting, so you stick around. First thing being, I've never actually played New Vegas. You can put the pitchforks down. I took care of that. I avoided this game for so long because I expected it to be a game that's really ugly to look at, which it was, but it also turned out it's a game I really enjoy. So there's a lot of mythos around New Vegas, enough that I was kind of intimidated to tackle it, but I was honestly relieved at how bare bones the game world can be. Which brings us to our first painting consideration. This was a game, a good game, that was made essentially from Fallout 3 scraps in a year and some change. It does a better job than any other game in the modern series to imply grand conflicts and post-war civilizations, but much of the literal portrayal in the game is one, limited by the resources it was made with, and two, by the fact that it's a game. In a painting, I get to shed these limitations and channel the fiction that's alluded in the game more than what's literally there. So I'm going to try to stay true to any original design that feels intentional, but not hold myself to things that seem like they were more utilitarian solutions by the devs. I've played the game, thought about it. Now what? If you can't think of where to start here, neither could I. This is a map of the strip in-game, 8 buildings split up by 3 really annoying loading screens, and somehow I'm going to have to make this accurate to this scale. In my Diamond City piece, I had streets and buildings pre-1950s for reference, but pretty much all of Vegas and almost everything on the strip except for literally just the road itself were built post the Fallout universe's diversion point in the 50s. These games face this dilemma as well, and I'm going to try to follow the precedent they set. Fallout games usually have some sort of stand-in or equivalent for famous landmarks that wouldn't otherwise be canon. The Hancock building is Trinity Tower, the highways get built in the same spot, and some kind of Space Needle knockoff is always built. It also wouldn't be fun for you guys if I drew something that was completely unrecognizable to real Vegas, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of historical predeterminist leeway here. Okay, enough talking. How do we smash fake Vegas into real Vegas? Well, let's find out what these places are referencing. The strip is obviously the strip, meaning this curve here is this curve, and that also means the Lucky 38 will be here. It also doesn't take a detective to figure out Camp McCarran is McCarran Airport. The strip ends on this road to the south and right above the bend to the north, so we can draw that here. It stops at the highway and roughly equal distance on the other side. But what about Freeside? According to the game, it should be right outside these gates. In-game, Freeside is mostly wall-to-wall old brick buildings, meaning it's meant to show pre-World War II buildings. Buildings we should be able to see on this real satellite, or this one. Well, here's some Vegas trivia. This actually isn't Vegas, it's Paradise. This is Vegas. It's a bit older, as you can see from this 50s aerial, and for us, it's also clearly the inspiration for Freeside, so problem. It's a pretty iconic fact of the game that you can walk directly from Freeside through the North Gate and into New Vegas. So iconic that even the show, unhindered by the need to condense space like a game does, still shows it the same way. This is the interesting part of making these paintings. Inconsistencies like this show the fundamental tension in trying to literalize fiction, and also hint at the interesting way game designers interpret and filter real life. There's a lot of tweaks and cuts to make adventuring around urban sprawl and car-centric infrastructure on foot tolerable, let alone entertaining, and these 3 miles of empty space are definitely one of them. Fans of this game are dogmatic. I could be crucified if Freeside isn't where people think it should be. And am I really going to be that stubborn? Talking robots, sure. Horny talking robots, why not? But yeah, I'm sorry. There's no universe where this was built post-1950. So I am that stubborn. Let's check out Google Earth and see if we can find an angle that works. This is tough. I've tried Freeside in the background, but then we only get the south side of the strip, which doesn't have the iconic gate. I tried Freeside in the foreground and the strip behind, but then I feel like it's a wasted opportunity to not focus more on the strip. I even tried zooming way out, which I honestly kind of loved, but again, same issue. I still might paint this one if enough people are interested. Eventually, I settled on this, an angle I would have never even remotely imagined doing. It shows the Lucky 38 right close in center with a clear view of the gate and down the strip to all the casinos. I also have a space for Camp McCarran and the monorail to it. What it does not have is Freeside, but I think this will let us see the most money shots of the strip and also showcases the tension between the NCR and Mr. House in geographic terms. I wish I could have made that shorter, but we're ready to roll. Gather a bunch of references, drag this screenshot into Photoshop, and now the fun part, for you at least. I get to squint my eyes and melt my brain imagining buildings that aren't there. Here they are. Lucky 38, a bit taller than the Strat because it's the future or whatever. Gomorrah, Tops, Ultralux. I'm planning on including a lot of smaller hotels and casinos along the strip, most of which will be totally or partially abandoned. I'm also doing a nod to that fuck-ass sphere. Let's get painting. I'm going for a dusk scene because the uncanny lights from the strip are one of the coolest parts of the New Vegas visual character. This light out here is Camp McCarran. I'm trying to emphasize how small the strip is among the ruins of the city. The Vegas suburbs pretty much fill the entire valley. It would be haunting to walk through on the way to the strip. I'm deciding to expand the scene to show the right border of the strip. I figure Mr. House would have decided to draw the border a bit back from the elevated highway so it wouldn't undercut the security of the wall. I'm also planning out the ruined foundations of other casinos outside the walls. My rationale is that the buildings on the border were pulled down and used as material for the wall. We're finally at the point where I put my head down, clear the schedule, and detail. When painting something as complex as this, especially at night and on such a small scale, it essentially becomes an abstract painting, just shapes, lines, and colors. It's my job now to carve down these suggestions into something. I'm not leaving any inch of this painting without making an intentional decision. I want to bring as much life to it as I possibly can. From the North Gate, the opportunistic shacks outside it, to the NCR sharecropper farms, to the heart of the strip, the monorail, and enough new additions I couldn't list them all here. And with a final few touches on the clouds, I'm gonna call it. I was worried coming into this if I could do the game justice, but on the way out, I gotta admit, I'm pretty happy with it, and also a bit of a new fan of the game myself. I'm selling prints of this in my bio, finally on Etsy instead of my evil Google form, so grab one if you're interested. To be honest, I have heaps more to say about this painting and the game and how the show treats the setting that I'm considering making a longer version for YouTube, so let me know if y'all be interested in that. Regardless, thanks for coming along, and please send me death threats in the comments.